So, I'm back in beautiful Aquila at nighttime. In this video, I'd like to show you how I feel that fast traveling breaks the game for players, and it also breaks the game for the developers. Because I think the developers relied on fast traveling as a crutch during development. And I think it caused serious damage to the game. So let me show you. I'm here in Aquila, and I want to go to Wally. And I train myself to avoid fast traveling as much as I can. So I'm not going to just open the map, find Wally and click on it, and just travel there. I'm actually going to go through the whole procedure of going to my ship physically. Then I'm going to take the entry airlock, I'm going to take the ladder up to my cockpit, sit down in the cockpit and press space. Now at first it might seem tedious. However, it gives you that slow burn fun of not ripping apart the game's fabric. Okay, I built the ship specifically to have a nice view like that. And it's really nice to see the city you landed at through your own cockpit. Okay, I'm going in the cockpit seat. Okay, now take off with space. Now once in space comes the most important part. Let's wait for the scene. I think it's also important to see your own ship take off like that. Because it keeps that sense of time and space, that you're actually traveling from A to B.
Orbit achieved.
And now comes the most important part here. Let's say I want to travel to Wally. I'm not going to open the map and click on Wally from the spaceship. I'm actually going to find it because I got a quest marker there. I'm going to press E. See, it says mission on, I'm holding on. Now that's a very important thing here because it's a seamless experience. Well, almost seamless, because I'm actually sitting down in the cockpit and I'm interacting with in the cockpit to travel somewhere. If I would have pressed M, it would have ripped me out of that seamlessness of the experience. Now it seemed like a small thing, but if you do it constantly in this game, every time you do it, it rips at the game experience. It feels like you're pressing cheat codes to teleport to another room. And the problem is you can only do that if you have a quest marker in that area. So for example, it's not possible, or at least I can't find a way. If you know a way, tell me in the comments, where I can, for example, select a specific place I want to go to. So I can set course. But if I exit that menu, the set course is gone. So unless you have a quest marker to fly to a specific place seamlessly from the cockpit, you cannot do it. You always have to go through that menu. And I think that really tears the game apart. And the same here with landing at landing zones. If I press F on the scanner, I can see the different landing zones here, but I still haven't found a way to actually select it or flight. I'm not sure which hotkey to use here. I'm playing on PC. So I have to open the planet map. And again, that rips you out of the game experience. I'm going to Neon, and I'm landing. Okay, now I'm at Neon. If I want to do something in Neon, I'm actually going to walk all the way, get up there and do it. Okay, now I'm back in Aquila, and I mentioned earlier that the fast traveling also breaks the game for the developers. And now what I'm going to say sounds a bit stupid on the surface. What the developers should have done is not allow player fast travel without actually having to go to your ship first, no matter where you are. Now some players might say, wait a minute, but isn't that tedious running back to the ship all the time? Yes, it is. However, here's the thing. I did some faction quests where you travel between Aquila and other places a lot. And one thing I noticed that if I would have to go to Aquila, then back to Neon, then back to Aquila really quickly in succession like that, then I wouldn't do it like immediately. I would just spend some extra time in Aquila, explore some side quests, or just go to a bar, have a drink or something. So in order to avoid the tediousness for myself, I would spend more time in that city. It's similar when you play Skyrim. You go to another city with your horse, you get off the horse, then you do other things before you go back to the other place. Then here comes the important part. If the game wouldn't allow fast travel, then it obviously would make certain parts of the game extremely tedious. And then the developers would actually force themselves to make those parts less tedious. For example, adding more slight amounts of simulator ship flying gameplay, perhaps even a landing minigame or something. You know what I mean? Like basically developers, by allowing fast traveling somewhere mid or early development, they removed the the pressure on themselves from having to fix something by just the player fast rolling away from it. So if the developers wouldn't have that crutch, then it would force them to address the tediousness in certain parts of the game and actually develop those parts. But I think somewhere early or mid in development, they just went for, okay, let's make a fast travel to get away from that problem. And I think that's why so many parts of the game feel so underdeveloped, because the developers went for that quick fix. So I'm not sure if a developer is going to see this video or if anybody takes these suggestions. What they should do if they want to improve the game more, they should treat the game like you cannot fast travel, and then notice which players find the most tedious, and then add some depth to those gameplay systems. Like perhaps a landing minigame for a ship, more complex interactions in your ship during flight perhaps a more immersive flight computer thing where you have like a mini, like some type of screen in your cockpit that you can, like in Star Citizen, that you can zoom in and look at instead of it being a menu that you press enter.